Welcome, fellow grievers. In this episode, we're going to talk about why grief makes it feel like you're going backwards. So, welcome, everybody. If you are new, or even if it's been a while, my name is Nicole Haugen, and we talk about all things grief here. So, whether you have been grieving for a while, or your loss was a while ago, or if it is fairly new, what happens is we feel pressure to get better, right? Like this is something that we need to fix or move on from and like heal almost in a way and do it quickly, but we really don't know how to do that. And so then we just feel like we're doing it wrong, right? Like we are grieving wrong. Like, well, so and so isn't crying as much as I am. Like, maybe there's something wrong with me. Or I can't cry at all, and that person over there is crying all the time. Maybe there's something wrong with me. And so we as humans, we just naturally look to other people, to our surroundings to make sure that we are doing things quote unquote normal because we want to feel included. There is safety in numbers, right? We want to feel like we're part of the pact. And that is what our brain does because it makes sense, where our brain, which is structured to keep us alive, says, okay, like, back in caveman days, there was safety in numbers. That if you were cast out of the group, that was a death sentence. You were going to die. So if you feel right now in 2026 like you are grieving wrong, your brain tells you you better figure this out because the group is going to kick you out and you're going to die. Our brains are very dramatic like that. So just know that, for one, that's normal. Okay, that's normal for all of us to feel like we're doing something wrong, no matter what it is we're doing. And I'm here to tell you that this does get better with time if you can be aware of it, if you can see it happening. So I want to talk through an example of what happened to me. But first, I want to show you how grief, why it feels like we're going backwards. Okay. So we see progress, right? We're like, oh, I had a couple good days. Or maybe even I had a good day. I didn't cry as much today. Or, there's something where like you're starting to feel joy, a little bit of hope, and you're like, oh, good. Like I'm getting better. There's relief. Then there's something that we perceive as a setback. Like maybe you were really weepy that day, or maybe you just were really, really sad and you weren't sure why, or you heard a song and there was something that felt like a setback. And then what we want to do is we want to have a deeper processing of it and then have progress again. But what lots of times happen is we have a setback, and instead of being like, well, of course I did, like that's going to happen, we perceive that we're failing, we're doing wrong, we're doing something wrong, and we just kind of dive deeper into that spiral. So I want to give an example because this happened to me just this past week. So my parents died. It's coming up on 7 years in July. So a fairly decent chunk of time has passed. And I find that, first of all, to say that like feels crazy to me. It feels crazy that I'm 6.5 years into this, and because in the beginning it really felt like this is never going to get better. It felt awful. So I do want to say that, okay? That in the beginning it's just heavier. It's harder. So I'm 6.5 years in, and grief still sneaks up on me, right? So I went about life and I was like, great, life has been going good. And I can often anticipate, I know Thanksgiving's gonna be hard. That's the last holiday I saw my mom. I know coming up on my parents' death anniversaries is going to be hard. I wouldn't say hard. I just know to care for myself during those times. I have really good protocols in place. I know how to take care of myself so good. I don't place a lot of expectations on myself. And so I've got those down. Now, this week, grief snuck up on me. And I just felt like, oh my gosh, like this shouldn't be hitting me this hard. I am 6.5 years in. For crying out loud, I am a grief coach. Why am I feeling like this? So just notice too, like there are these thoughts that pop up that even for me, I was just like almost naturally wanted to shame myself to help myself feel better. And I know that sounds contradictory because it is, but that's what we think will happen. That if we shame ourselves, if we say, snap out of this, you shouldn't be feeling this way, get over this already, that will work and that we will get over it and move past it. And we don't. We just feel worse because we just shamed ourselves. So it continues to happen to me. And again, so this week specifically, it caught me off guard. And for me, especially, any time that my cycle lines up, so when I'm getting my period, lines up with the time that there is a death anniversary or this week is my dad's birthday. So anytime that lines, I shouldn't say anytime. There are certain times about every 3 months, my cycle just seems more extreme. I just get really weepy, I get really sad, and I've noticed this pattern, okay? And this has taken me a while to notice this pattern, first and foremost. And then when it lines up with any type of anything, so example, my dad's birthday is this week, or if it was a death anniversary, or I heard a certain song on a radio, like it will just make me more sad. I will have a week or a few days where I am more submerged into the grief. And this week really caught me off guard because I didn't see it coming. I knew that my dad's birthday was coming up, but the last, I don't know, 4 years have been, I would say, pretty decent on their birthdays. It hasn't really affected me, maybe the last 3 years, hasn't really affected me that much. And so I was just like, okay, it's gonna be fine. It's not a problem. I don't need to prepare. I don't need to prep for this. I'm good. And I was not good. So I was extremely, extremely sad the day before my dad's birthday. And I kept telling my husband, like, I just don't know what's wrong with me. I just feel so sad. Like, I know my dad's birthday is tomorrow, but it shouldn't be affecting me this much. I don't know what my problem is. I just feel like there's something wrong. Like, I just feel like this tension in my body. And then I stopped and I was like, oh, you know what it is? Like, it's because, again, like, m my period is lining up with my dad's birthday. It's just like kind of a trifecta. And I just felt really sad. And once I stopped making it mean that there was something wrong with me, or this shouldn't be affecting me this much, or like, well, it can't be his birthday, right? Like, once I stopped labeling it as that, I was like, oh, like, of course it is, because it's just kind of all lined up perfectly where I'm going to be more sad. It just brought me relief and made me feel, I don't want to say, I wouldn't say safe. It just made me feel calmer about it. I felt more calm. I wouldn't even say I felt at peace about it because I still felt extremely, extremely sad and weepy, and I was crying at the drop of a dime. Like I was just, and so but just knowing like this is why it's happening versus something's wrong, or I'm doing this wrong, or I'm failing. I felt calmer about it. I was like, okay, realistically, this might last today and tomorrow, maybe 3 days at the very most. And it lasted about a day and a half. But I just dropped, I wouldn't say I dropped instantly into how can I love myself through this, but it was a lot quicker than it has been in the past. So I want to leave you guys with hope that the more we practice this, the more that we recognize, like, oh, my brain is just going back to its natural state and trying to protect me and telling me I'm failing and doing wrong because it's trying to motivate me and trying to make me feel better. That's not working. Oh, like, of course I feel sad. Of course, when this lines up like this, of course. Like, you're okay. It's okay. We just have a few rough days ahead and it'll be okay. So it just notice that To recognize it helps get out of that faster. And again, 6.5 years into it, I still get caught off guard. But the hope of it is that I catch it faster and I see it. And in the past, this would have lasted a week, week and a half, because I would have just got stuck in that spiral of something's wrong and I can't fix it and I don't know what's wrong and like I'm failing and gosh, why is this happening? Like now it lasted a day and a half. And I would say for maybe a half a day, I didn't recognize what was happening. And for that last day, it was like just kind of riding out the rocky waves. Okay. So I hope that that gives you peace in noticing that this grief, it's going to keep happening. But that doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. That doesn't mean that anything's gone wrong. It really just means like it's going to happen and I can love myself through it. I can have awareness of it and I can just feel sad and it's okay. And that feels better and it's shorter lasting than the resistance phase. So that's what I wanted to leave you guys with today. And also, I would say if you are in a spot where you do have some clarity, where it doesn't feel like the grief is just like constant waves hitting you, if you have some clarity, plan for the next time that happens. And how we can do this is we look at things that make us feel better when we are having a hard time. So, for example, for me, um, a lot of times I will plan, around like death anniversary. It's more specifically like their death anniversary holidays, ones that I know probably will be a problem for me. I shouldn't say problem, like will cause me more grief. I plan two different options. So I would say maybe sometimes three. I plan an option where it's like I'm not doing anything, I'm checking out. Husband has the kids, or if I do have to take care of the kids, it's frozen pizzas, it's sandwiches, it's cereal, like easy, easy things where I just kind of hang out, I veg all day, I read a book, I watch shows. The other option I do is where it's something like, okay, I'll probably make them a meal, but it's nothing going to be extravagant or new. I'm going to plan in parts of rest throughout my day or just something that I really love. Like I might go get my nails done. But, if I'm feeling like I don't want to go out in public, I'm really weepy, really quiet, cry, that's where option A comes in, where I just veg at home. Option B is maybe if I'm feeling a little bit better and but I still want to take care of myself. That's option B. Option C, sometimes I like to incorporate ways that the family can celebrate with me. And knowing that, so for example, for this week with my dad's birthday, my dad loved ice cream. And so a lot of times we'll have ice cream on his birthday. And we did not have it yesterday when his birthday was because it got a later night and the kids really they were in different places, different things. And by the times like the older ones got home, the younger ones were almost ready for bed. So we didn't do it yesterday, but we're going to do it today where we just sit down and we have some ice cream and we maybe share a favorite memory of grandpa or the couple of the younger ones don't remember him at all because they were too young. And so it's just like they might share just something that they remember somebody else talking about, or they might not have anything to share, which is just fine too. So, but not, but knowing too that sometimes that doesn't work out. And if we put expectations on how people are going to show up, we can be disappointed. So that's where, again, I like to say that kind of is option three, because if that doesn't work out, that's okay. I still have my option A and my option B where I took care of myself. So I hope that helps. And I just want you to know that if you are kind of in the thick of it or you are struggling to work out a protocol and a plan to love yourself through grief, I invite you to go to catholicgriefcoach.com and book a free consult call with me, and we can talk through that plan for you. So, you guys are loved, and we'll take the next steps together. God bless.